Welcome back for another video. We've picked out the biggest questions and dilemmas for Gameweek24, which we'll break down one by one as a game week guide. We'll also have a dig into the experts transfers for the week. Let's get into it. 12Y asks if it's a good time to start captaining Haaland again. I do think a trick we can fall into is reacting to last week's points, and Haaland's 5 was obviously a disappointment. Man City at home to Everton, which is an unbelievable fixture this week. We mentioned in the team selection video that in my eyes he's the best captain, and that Dyche has played Guardiola 17 times, which is more than any manager. Dyche's record over that run is 6 goals scored against Pep and 52 conceded, at a rate of just over 3 goals conceded per game. He's never beaten him, 1 draw, 16 losses. In the reverse fixture, City beat Everton 3-1 away. Against Brentford, Haaland broke through for a 1v1 against Flecken. Had he buried that chance, it'd be a very different conversation. It was a great save. However, with Liverpool home to Burnley, Darwin and Jota are definitely good picks for captaincy as well. Both games feel like they could be high scoring ones. There's not much separating them this week on FPL Review's projections, with Haaland slightly ahead. If you're looking to maximise the upside, then back a Liverpool player, because they're about 14% owned. Paolo asks whether it's worth keeping cash with Konsa's injury. If he's still got cash at this point, he's a hold. He should be a safe starter till Konsa's return, which isn't expected to be early March. Aston Villa playing blank Gameweek26 as well, which will come in handy. They face Forest then. Blank Gameweek29 is not till the 17th of March, so Konsa should be back by then, unless he has a setback. Zaim asks which Liverpool players are worth prioritising for the double. The 3 I've shortlisted are Darwin, Trent and Diogo Jota. They're pretty much all equally appealing, so this one's completely dependent on your team. They happen to be 3 different positions. If you've got an injured defender, then Trent. If you've got a midfielder like Bowen that you don't want, or perhaps an injured midfielder, then Jota's the answer, and the same goes for the forward position. Bradley did appear to be threatening Trent's minutes at one point after an impressive showing in his 2 games before taking compassionate leave. Darwin's perhaps the best of the 3. He should start all games in Gameweek 24 and 25. If Salah is back, then the question is who misses out. Jota's been immense, so it could be Darwin, Jota and Salah as the front 3, or Diaz, Darwin and Salah. Hopefully Darwin's on penalties still as well. He did miss the last one he took in Salah's absence. McAllister's very good on pens as well. Outside of these 3, if you're tight for money in defence, then Van Dijk's a good option, and Alisson if you've got the option to pick up a goalie. 2 clean sheets across Gameweek 24 and 25 for Liverpool wouldn't be surprising at all, perhaps even 3. Let's pull up the experts transfers to see what moves they're making this week. A very popular move is Bowen to Jota this week. With Bowen up against Arsenal and Jota facing Burnley, this one does have potential to be a good gain and even worth consideration for a -4. Despite a couple of great home fixtures to come for Spurs, they're picking up Trent this week in place of Pedro Porro. Lots of transfers in for Darwin. Watkins and Solanke are leaving lots of experts' teams. With Gordon flagged with an injury at the moment, they're turning to Barkley for 4.9 mil. He frees up 1 mil or so, and in many cases it goes a long way to afford other double gaming assets. We've just had the double Gameweek 28 announcement as well, so Luton will now double in 25 and 28, which boosts the appeal of the Luton assets, despite the blank in 26. Watkins is also being sold by some experts for Haaland this week. Full experts video is going to be out on Friday, so make sure you subscribe for that. Brenton asks if it's worth keeping De Bruyne or making the Salah transfer for the double game week. This one seems a pretty straightforward hold if you've got De Bruyne. He's got a great double game week against Chelsea and Brentford. Liverpool's is better on paper, but Liverpool blank in Gameweek 26, so De Bruyne's got to be a hold. We've also not even Salah play yet since getting injured. It might be more of a conversation if he was playing and in form at the moment. The same applies to Foden, easy hold and not worth switching to Jota. Alvarez to Darwin is the only one that could be worth a look in, especially if there's early news that Alvarez doesn't start against Everton. Joel asks if Gameweek 24 wildcard's viable. It absolutely is. It is very team dependent of course. If your team's got injuries, a low number of players doubling in 25 and perhaps lots blanking in 26, then there's a clear opportunity to add a ton of points to your team over the next 3 game weeks. We've got a few pros and cons to break it down simple here. The pros are that you can have the best team in Gameweek 24 and 25, with the opportunity to bench boost in Gameweek 25 as well, if you want to set your team up that way. And you can set your team up for blank Gameweek 26 at the same time. If you're able to set your team up well enough with free transfers, then that's a reason not to wildcard. And the other negative is that you could be set up worse for later double game weeks. Gameweek 34 and 37 will be double game weeks, with perhaps 1 or 2 smaller other double game weeks outside of those after Gameweek 31. One expert does have their wildcard active this week, and this is the team they've landed on. Kaminski, Gabriel, Maguire, Doughty, De Bruyne, Saka, Foden, Jota, Haaland, Tony and Darwin, with Flecken, Barkley, Konate and Branthwaite on the bench. His intention is to bench boost Gameweek 25 as well. Some food for thought there if you're considering the wildcard or if it's active already. We'll have his full commentary in Friday's experts video with his justification for the decision and the players picked. Adil asks what the plan should be if you've got all chips available still. There's a ton of different chip strategies at the moment, and we've just seen wildcarding now and bench boosting Gameweek 25 as an option. Probably the most popular strategy at the moment is to triple captain Gameweek 25, likely Haaland, wildcard in Gameweek 31. Wildcard in Gameweek 30 straight after the blank works as well, but you're going to want lots of Arsenal and City players when their fixtures turn easy from Gameweek 31, and you won't want many of them when they play each other in Gameweek 30. Bench boost in Gameweek 34 or 37 is the other option, which are both double game weeks. Of course, we don't know the fixtures in those weeks yet, so it's a loose plan, and therefore you free hit in the other double game week that you don't bench boost in. We don't know what Gameweek 29's blanks will look like yet even. Those will be confirmed after the FA Cup 5th round at the end of February. Credit to Ben Crellin for the graphic here, which has the percentage likelihoods of each Gameweek 29 fixture becoming a blank. The likes of Brighton, City, Everton, Liverpool, Palace, Newcastle, Arsenal and Chelsea almost certainly blank. So free hit Gameweek 29 is not out of the question, it could be the way. Chip strategy is a bit of a headache at the moment. For now, just focus on the immediate doubles and blanks, build towards Gameweek 25 and 26, and then once that's out of the way, build towards the double in 28, and by then we'll know what's happening in Gameweek 29, so go from there. Talk FPL asks who to transfer out for Haaland, Solanke or Watkins. Given Solanke's tougher fixtures in the immediate term, he's the slightly more logical pick, with a view to bringing him back in Gameweek 27 or 28. No rush to get him in Gameweek 26, as Bournemouth face Man City then. There is about 1.7 mil separating the two though, so if you can make a solid second transfer with that spare money, then it adds weight to selling Watkins instead. Both are obviously risky sells given their form this season, but double game week assets should be targeted, with the added appeal that both Liverpool and City have great Gameweek 24 fixtures as well. Watkins or Solanke could easily get a return this week, but Darwin could get two, so still a good decision even if the player you sold did well. MTO says since South Korea were knocked out of the Asian Cup, will Son play in Gameweek 24? He still has him on their bench and he's unsure whether to sell or keep. Yeah, in case you missed it, South Korea have been eliminated, so Son's back, and also Hwang from Wolves. The managers will no doubt be asked about this in Friday's press conferences, so keep an eye out. It's possible that the turnaround's a bit too tight for a start. If there's any indication, then consider selling Son for Foden, De Bruyne or Jota. Son's going to end up a very popular pick in a few weeks' time, because Spurs will definitely be playing in Gameweek 29, which will make him a useful replacement for those that blank then. So a quick run through of my team and the latest thoughts. Edison in goal this week. Outfield Saliba, Trent, Pedro Porro, Palmer, Richarlison, Saka, Gordon, Solanke, Watkins and Haaland captain. Dubravka, Bowen, Estupinian and Pinnock on the bench. 2 free transfers and 0.1 mil in the bank. The plan is to sell Watkins and Bowen for Darwin and Foden. Both are coming to the starting 11 and Gordon drops to the bench. I'm going to delay the transfers until the deadline is streamed for hopeful early team news on City's lineup. Assuming that we hear Foden starts, he'll come in, or on the off chance he doesn't, then Jota will come in instead. That gives me 5 players at double in Gameweek 25. Not as many as some teams unfortunately, but I'll be set up well enough for Gameweek 26. There is the option to spend the free transfer in Gameweek 25 for one more double Gameweek asset, but it would book in a -4 in Gameweek 26, so I might avoid it and just roll. It could look something like Trent to Pau Torres and Darwin to Watkins in Gameweek 26. This adds 2 players to the team that play in Gameweek 26 and 29. If this was a helpful video, hit subscribe for more FPL videos like this every game week. See you soon for the next one.